Hello, this is Izzy, and today I'm going to do a quick overview of learning Canva Basics. So if you are not familiar with Canva whatsoever, you've never had an account, this is going to be the training for you. Okay, I'm just going to go into the basic features Canva offers because Canva is something that you can continuously come into it and learn different features that they have updated, create different projects, and there's a lot to it. So just to start off with, we are going to look at the dashboard here. This is going to be your dashboard once you create a Canva account. So Canva does offer actually two types of plans, as you see here. You can have either a free account or you can have a pro. The pro right now, it's around $14.99 a month, but it does give you a lot of premium content and different other tools available for you. So I do highly recommend having the Pro. However, if you just are starting with Canva, go ahead and just play around for a while with the free account. And then if you start seeing that it is worthwhile for you to transition into the Pro account, then you can go ahead and upgrade it. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to look into is going to be right here, this main area. So this is going to be the area where you're going to look into what type of template or project you are going to be creating. So a lot of times they start suggestion, which are like the main projects that you might want to look into depending on what you've worked on before. But also up here, you're going to see the different icons. So you can click on if you're going to create a document, if you need a whiteboard, if you need to create slides for a presentation, if you need to create maybe a Facebook or Instagram post, if you need to create videos, stories, reels, things like that. You can also create websites, print products, and things like that. And then if you scroll down, you're also going to start seeing the recent designs that you might have created. And on the left-hand side, you have a couple of tabs here. So this, as I said, is your home page. Then the next option is going to be your projects. If you click on templates, it's also going to be showing you just different designs to give you ideas of what you would like to create. They also give you keywords here at the top. Maybe you want to create something related to back to school, a collage, business, something related to travel, music sale, maybe something according to the season, right? We have over here just a bunch of designs and ideas, things that are maybe trending, things that are new in Canva, business cards, flyers, Facebook posts. So they just give you here a large selection of ideas that you can create. And again, they display here all the different options that you have. Now I'm going to go back to the home page, and I'm also going to click on the Brand Hub. This is a feature if you do have the Pro membership with Canva. If you have your own business, what I do recommend is using this Brand Hub because you are going to be able to upload your logo, and immediately Canva recognizes the color palette that you are using for your logo. And you can even preset the fonts that you want to use for your projects. So as a brand, it is important for you to have maybe 3, 4 fonts that you use regularly to have some type of uniformity throughout your projects and enhance that branding. Okay, so let's go back into the home page. And then I also wanted to click here real fast on this option that says apps. There are a lot of options here. I'm not going to be showing it on this training per se, but I just wanted to do a quick run through here of just the different options that you can find under the apps tab. But one of the most important ones that I think is the content planner. So if you have a business and you need to maybe plan out different posts throughout the week or the month, this is a great tool to use. So you can schedule ahead of time, either an event on your calendar, you can link your social media platforms like TikTok or Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, things like that. And you can use the content planner to add maybe a certain post, right, that you want to add there. And you can schedule it out. When is it going to be posted on your social media? So content planner, definitely look into that. Okay, so let's go back into the home page and let's look up something very basic. So if you are just starting off with a brand, the important thing that you need to start off with is a logo, right? So let's say that you are going to look into logos. So as you see here, it says templates, and I'm just going to look into logo. Let's click on logo. Let's say that for this case, I need a logo that is specifically related to the travel industry, right? So if I just put logo, they're going to be throwing at me a lot of different options. But maybe I want to narrow it down. So I'm going to put here specifically that I want a travel logo. Okay, and let's see what options are they going to be showing us. And we're just going to select one of these. You might really like how they already come, but because these options are available to, millions and millions of people that use Canva, what I recommend is going into the project and customizing it. So let's say that for this training, we are going to customize this template. Okay, so let's click on customize. Okay. And now we're going to give it a moment to load, and I'm going to be showing you a couple of the main features that show up here on this dashboard. Okay, so let's start at the very top. So over here, you're going to find the File tab. This, you can import files, you can view settings. For instance, if you want to use margins, that's something I highly recommend when you're starting off. Show margins, for example, so you can stay within those margins and make sure that your design looks clean. And you have different options here to save the project, save to folder, make a copy, download it, etc. We also have the resize option. This is an option that is only available for the Pro members. Whatever you see with this little crown, that means it's available only if you have the Pro version of Canva Pro, okay? But what I love is that this can easily transform one of your projects into anything else. So let's say I want to transform this logo into maybe putting into a Facebook post. All I would have to do is click on it and click on copy and resize. And then what would happen is that a new window is going to show up with this new format of the Facebook post. So this is one of the features that I really liked from the Canva Pro that made me choose going pro with Canva. Now over here, you're going to see these two arrows. This is to undo, which you can also do it putting in your keyboard, Control Z, or you can redo as well. Maybe you deleted an element, something like this. Maybe I deleted it by accident and I want to undo it. Just click here and it's going to reappear. Or maybe I want to delete it again. I would just do redo and boom, it left. Okay. And then right here, you're going to see if the changes you have made on your project are properly saved. Sometimes if you don't let a change upload properly, you're going to see the little cloud, but maybe with an exclamation point, and it's going to say that it's paused. So before you exit a project, make sure that you have this check mark showing up to make sure that Canva did properly save your project. Right here is basically the name of your project. So I would maybe change this into, I'm going to say it's a logo example. So I'm just your example logo, so I know what document this is or what project it is. Then over here, if you click on share, this is where you're going to have a lot of different options of either downloading the project, sharing it on your social media. Maybe you want to share this project with someone else. So you would click the view only link for them to look at it, right? Maybe you want to present it in a slide, just different options. Okay. So that's going to be the main things right here at the top. And then on the left-hand side, you're going to see this menu where is the top one is design. So you're going to have different templates and styles here available for you. And you can type in whatever you might be looking for if you want to change it up. Elements is a great feature for you to add anything you need. You can add photos, shapes, lines, graphics, audio. You can add videos, charts, tables. These are what we call frames. If you maybe want to add a picture, a photo into one of those shapes, maybe you wanted to create a collage, you would use one of these frames. So the elements, you would literally type in whatever you like. For instance, let's say that I didn't like this plane and I want to look for something else. I'm going to put plane and maybe I want a graphic. I'm going to click on graphics and I'm just going to change it up. So maybe instead of having this type of plane and these lines, maybe I want something like this. And I can just click on it and drag it. And these little dots, the 4 dots, that's what's going to help me resize. Maybe my logo. There you go. Let's say that I want my logo to look like that instead. So this is where you would find a different element under elements, and then you just type in what you want. The next box underneath is going to be text. This is where we can add a header, a title, a subtitle, and you even have different formats here to select. Maybe you're creating a flyer, maybe you're showing that you have a sale, right? So that you have some options here predetermined and you can change it up. So an example, I'm just going to click on this one and then it shows up here. And you can change, right? It's just a style. So maybe I don't want to say huge sale. Maybe I just want to, this is maybe my travel company, right? Example, I don't know, maybe it's called, maybe my business is called Sun Travel, example, right? I'm going to make this smaller and I'm going to click on the sidebar here to make sure that it fits completely. And I'm going to make sure that I can drag it to make it fit into my image here, right? Let's say I want it right here, just an example, and I can go into the text color and change it up to whatever color I want, right? So that's a great feature on the text. You can either add just a text box or you can select one of these type of text examples that they have. Okay, so I'm going to delete this real quick so we can continue. There we go. The next option, we have here the brand hub. So this is where your logo and your color palette is going to be showing up and those fonts that you have predetermined. Remember, this is something that is available if you have the Canva Pro option, if you're paying for the membership. Uploads, this is where you can upload maybe videos that you've taken, maybe photos that you've taken as well. And something that I like to do actually is I like to have Canva. I download the app on my phone as well. So it's easier for me to just open Canva from my phone, upload the videos or photos that maybe I took with my cell phone, and then they are uploaded immediately here to my library on Canva. And then I like to come on my laptop or my desktop and start making the designs just because it's easier having like a mouse and I have better control. But that is a trick you can do. Use the Canva app from your phone to upload videos or photographs that you might have and that you want to use for future projects. Okay, and then over here, this is the draw option. I really haven't used it. It's basically just markers and things here if you like want to draw. Here you can click on projects. So maybe projects that you've done before show up here in case you need to merge it with your current project. And then we have the option here that says apps, which is, again, they're just going to show you a lot of different features that Canva offers. But this is something to jump into once you are further into training with Canva. Okay, so what I wanted to show was the very basic features of how would you play with a design, right? So over here, let's say that I want to change this text. I don't want it to say think travel, at least not with those fonts. Maybe I can change the font over here at the top. I can select what type of font I want. Let's just say is this one, for example, and I want it to have one line, so I make it longer. And then with this little cross, this is what's going to help me drag. And you see this purple line that says sets in the middle, that solid line, that's what's telling me that it's centered. If I put it over here, it's going to show me a dotted line. But when it's dead center with the project on the page, it's going to be a solid line. So you can play with choosing the fonts. You can choose the size by using the plus sign or lowering it, or even putting just the number, typing in a certain size that you want, right? Just like that. And you can also play with the color right over here. Okay. And then we also have here at the top, if you wanted like the alignment, if you wanted centered, if you wanted towards the left, towards the right, the spacing, letter spacing, if you want the letters a little bit more separate or you want a little bit more together. And the line is going to be, if you have like 2 rows, this is going to give you more space between the lines. Okay. We also have effects. This is a great feature for you to just give it a little bit more, make your text a little bit more interesting, a little bit more dynamic. So as you see, like you can add a shadow, you can make it neon, you can have it something like this, hollow, right? Whatever way you like, you can play around with these options too. And you can even make them curvy. So for example, let's say that this travel solution, I don't want it right there. I want it to be curvy on top of the sun. So what I would do, I would click on that text, I would click on effects, and I would scroll all the way down, and you see here it says none or curve. If I click on curve, it's going to have like a drastic change. But if you scroll down, you're going to be able to decide the angle. So if I make it a little bit smaller or shorter like this, I just play on how do I want it, or it can go all the way towards the other side. So let's say maybe I want it curvy, but I want it right there at the bottom. I can leave it like that. And that dot in the center, this right here, you see the dot in the center, that's going to be helpful for me to be moving around the text and know where it should be. So it's showing me again with those solid lines if it's centered or not on the page. So let's say I can leave it there, right? Another great thing that you can do is you can actually change this text. You can even make it animated. Play here with animation. Maybe you want it to show up like this, but then you would have to download the document as a video. But we are going to be doing some of the trainings like this. So I'm not going to be adding for a logo right now. I'm not going to be adding any animation. And over here, we have the option that says transparency. You can play here. Maybe you want something that's not too bold. Maybe you want it a little bit more transparent. You can play here with the transparency. Okay. But let's say this text is looking a little bit sad and I want to change it a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on, I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to click on design. Let's say that I want this example. I like this type of box and I want to add it to my design. So how would I do that? What you can do is you can either, if you click on it, it's going to change everything, right? Like you're going to be, oh my God, where did my design go? And you don't want that. So no worries. You can either hit Control Z or undo, and it's going to show up again. So let's say I want to add that design. what I would do is I'm going to add a page, click on that design that I want, and then I'm going to select it, and I'm going to click these three dots, and you see that you have a lot of options here: copy, copy style, paste, duplicate, delete, align, align elements, space evenly, group. So in this case, I'm just going to click on copy. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to delete it because that's the one I don't want. I'm going to right click and I'm going to click on paste. Awesome. So now I'm just going to center it where I want it. Maybe I want it smaller. Can use this little arrow to help me out. Find that solid line to make sure it's centered. And now, let's say I don't want it to say Light Studio because that's not the name of my business. We can put, let's use the same example as it was before, think travel, right? So there you have nice different type of text and design that you can add. All right, let's put this a little bit lower. There's another great feature if you click on the images. For instance, you're going to see here that they show this color box. Maybe you want it orange instead of the black, right? Something like that. You can edit the image, and it's going to show you a lot of different features here as well that you can explore and play with. You can click on flip. You can flip it horizontally like that, or you can click it vertically, flip it vertically like that. Completely up to you how you want to play with your design. And you can just change it up. Gonna leave it how I had it right there. Okay. So once I'm ready, let's say I'm ready to, like this is, I'm happy with my design. Maybe I want to add a background to it, right? Maybe I want to add a background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the back. As you see, the purple square, that's what's indicating me what am I working on. So if I click on this, whatever adjustments I make, it's going to be for that image. So I want to make an adjustment to the background. I don't want it to be white because it looks kind of sad. So maybe I want to add a background. What I would do, I'm going to go over here to elements. And maybe I want to add a sky background. So I'm going to put sky background. And then a lot of different options are going to show up. Remember, if you see the little crown, it's going to say, if you hover over it, it says Pro. So if you don't have a Canva Pro, you're not going to be able to use that design. Let's say that I want to use this one. I'm going to click on it. And here you might see like, oh my goodness, so how do I push this image towards the back? I want the logo to show, right? This is where we can play with layers. So what you can do is click on the three dots for more. It shows here layer, and then it gives you options if you want to bring it forward, if you want to put that image towards the back. So I'm going to click on send to the back. There you go. So now I have my logo. And what I'm going to do is hover over the dot, and now I have the option here of extending it. Just click and drag. And there you go. So once I'm ready, let's say that I'm finished, this is my final product, I'm not tweaking it anymore. Or actually, I wanted to show you guys this. You don't have to use only solid colors. So let's say I want to change the color of the sun. I'm going to click on it, click on the little box. And if you scroll down, you actually have the option as well of gradients. So let's say I want this gradient here. Or it can be this one, right? It can be whichever you like. Let's do this one. And because I wanted that plane to stand out a little bit more, I'm going to change it to black. There we go. Or maybe I want it gray. That looks nice. Okay. Something like that. So let's say that this is my design and I'm done. Now what? What do I do? I don't want this second page anymore because I was just using it to put it in here to copy it. So I'm going to delete this page. And then I'm going to go to the top right hand and click on share. And then I'm going to click on the option download. Once you click on download, you actually have the option here of download it as a PDF, as a JPEG, as a PNG, right? If we added some animation to this image and there was movement, you can download it as a video as well. But because in this case, we're just creating a logo and we want it to be just an image, I am going to download it as a PNG, right? So here I'm going to download. And then immediately where it's going to show up, it's on my download folder on my computer. So it even gives me the option here. I'm just going to click on it to see how it looks. Let's see if you guys can visualize it. And there it is. That's how it's looking right now. Okay. So now my logo is saved. If I wanted to maybe, if I maybe wanted to use that logo for other designs, what I can do is, now that I'm back here on Canva, right? Let's create a completely new document. So I'm going to go back into the templates. And I'm just going to select, let's close this out. And I'm going to select a brand new document. So if you ever click on Canva, right here, the logo, it's going to take you back to the dashboard. So let's say that I am just creating a document or maybe a Facebook post, for instance. Let's do a Facebook post. And let's say you're creating a Facebook post and you want to add your logo. So how would I do that? I'm going to show you here real quick. It's very simple to upload your logo. Okay, let's give this a minute. As I was mentioning before, here it says saving paused. It's because it's still loading. So if I ever created a project and I close it out when it's still saying saving paused, if I exit that project and then I come back to it, most likely I'm not going to find the changes or the things that I did with it. So always be sure to not exit your project until you know that it was properly saved. All right. So something great that you can do is, I'm going to click here on uploads. I'm going to click on upload file. And what I want to do is I'm going to upload that image that I just created. So I'm going to go into my download folders. Let me share here another screen. Okay, so I'm going to go into my downloads. And now I have here my example logo. I'm just going to open it up and it's going to load on my Canva. So now I have my logo here. Okay, but let's say I'm creating a Facebook post. I'm just going to choose a random design here. Let's say I want to put this, travel more, but maybe what I want is to put my logo somewhere on this. What I would do for that is I'm going to click on elements. I can use what we mentioned before, which is a frame. Frame is going to be one of these. It always shows up with that little landscape, like the sky and the mountains. So let's say I want this circle one. And I don't want it right there in the middle. Maybe I want it here. And I'm going to make it smaller. Maybe I want it over here. In this corner, maybe I want it down here, however I like. What I can do is I'm going to click now in my uploads. and click on that, my logo. That's the one I downloaded. And I can just click and drag and make sure it fits in here. So if it's not too clear, maybe you decide, maybe I don't want it like that. You can either make it bigger. Maybe you don't want none of this, delete it. And maybe what you can do is just put it into the middle. Here. And just like that, you have your logo there as well. Okay, so this is just a very easy way for you to download your logo and add it to your new projects. Okay, so I am going to stop right here the training for today. I just wanted to show you the very basics of Canva, but please stay tuned for my next trainings because we are going to be walking through different types of projects and how else you can play with different features with Canva. Okay, so I hope this was helpful and I wish to see you next time. Take care, everyone.